So I put up a video earlier this week or last week, and I looked at it, and I didn't think it was well spoken. So I took it down, and then I got busy, or maybe not in that order. But today, there's stuff in the media complaining about higher education. The things Trump's doing to higher education. This is one of the things I actually kind of support. Some of the stuff with immigrants is heavy-handed, and the stuff with trans people is kind of tragic. There's nuances in both, but I think that going after the universities is just so important, so appropriate. So I want to talk about the cognitive problems that are emerging on the left. There's this idea of a thought-terminating cliche. And this is a very common thing on the left. And the point is that there's a lot of cognitive problems that folks in the progressive space have developed over the years. And they haven't noticed it. They've normalized the deviance. And an example I saw the other day was a tweet by AOC, who, her movement's profoundly anti-Semitic. Dirtbag left is code word for Jew hater. That's what makes them dirtbags. But she said, it was about sex workers. She said, sex work is work. And this is this sort of standard left-wing formulation, right? Feminism is just a belief in women's equality. Okay? These are thought-terminating cliches. They're not true. There's a lot more to the question of whether or not sex work should be legal than, just saying that it's work. It's okay. And the whole point is to stop the thought, stop the whole process of thinking about it. What's another example? Here we go again. Interesting. This is some stuff from Wikipedia. Trust the plan, right? That the Trump supporters would say. Trust the plan. It's like, why is Trump doing something stupid? Trust the plan. Okay. A big one on the left is you can't even say what wokeness is. Right? People will go and have like huge issues with stuff going on the left, and the leftists will say, you can't even say what wokeness is. Anytime that word comes up, which everybody is using, the word is sticking, they failed. It was also a rhetorical strategy, but it's also a thought-terminating cliche. You talk to a progressive, and once you say the word woke, they just kind of glaze over. They can't, because you can't even say what wokeness is, right? It stops the whole process. Similarly, a lot of progressives, when you ask them, hey, what's going on? Why do you think you're losing? They'll say something like disinformation. It's like, how much disinformation? Like, why do you think it's disinformation? And there's this block. There's a serious block. Right. Another example is nobody is illegal. A human being can't be illegal. That kind of a thing. Right. You'll notice all these things are very reductivist, very oversimplifying, or just denialistic. Right. They just are based on pretending that there isn't a complexity there, pretending there isn't a question there. And it's a feature of authoritarian thought. It's a feature of thought where you have an emotional need to not look at things. And progressives are, and should, going to stay in the political wilderness, I hope, until they can figure out how to not be this way, be religious, fundamentally religious about their political ideas, and treat it as an exercise in righteousness. Because as long as being a leftist makes you a good person, and the left develops an orthodoxy, the orthodoxy has to be good, questioning the orthodoxy has to be bad. And so a thought stopper like you can't even say what wokeness is, does important emotional work. It protects the progressive mind from having to confront serious questions about its ideology. And so progressives keep going back to these things because they can't handle questioning on a deep emotional level. They need to not look at this stuff because they need to protect themselves from the threat of being a bad person that comes from accepting the possibility that their ideology is flawed. That's what I had to say. I think I'm going to keep this one nice and short. I'm trying to kind of respect people's time a little more. I still don't want to edit and things like that, but I'm going to try to like focus on being punchy and like having my thoughts thought out slightly and not just rambling. So yeah. What else can I say? The influence of the academy on society has been very, very bad. People on the left are coming out of these places as mind broken as a Trump supporter who will deny that, Joe Biden won the 2020 election, right? The people who call themselves ditto heads. But now they don't think, the people on the left don't think they're ditto heads. They say, no, I'm educated. And really they're doing the same sort of thing. The same sort of thing that a Rush Limbaugh listener used to do. They just think they're not. So not only do they have the same kind of cognitive problems, but they also have this layer of arrogance and denial. So hopefully it's not good for society, but I'm really worried that they're going to get back into power. Very, very bad things are going to happen when progressives get back into power, speaking as a Jewish person. So hopefully all the pressure from Trump will cause the fever to break. And part of this fever are these thought-stopping cliches and other cognitive issues that people on the left have developed over the years. There's a lot of this these cognitive blind spots. The guy who did We've Never Been Woke talks about it a lot too, and I really recommend that. So, yeah. Where's that stop button?